And we're live.
Hey, and there we go. Hello, my friend. Hi, Al.
Hi.
How you doing this
How are
morning?
you?
I'm, busy as a bee. Busy as a bee. That's all I can say. How about you?
Yeah. I've been busy, but things are gonna calm down now, and I'm gonna get back in my studio this week. Well, in the upcoming week and the weekend probably. So yeah, lots of graduation stuff and people visiting and people being in the house, and it's crazily disruptive, even though they're not really like trying to bother you.
No.
Just having people in the house that you're not used to.
Yeah, yeah. I know. We had all of my kids were here for Mother's Day, and my sister-in-law and her kids are coming this weekend, and a friend of mine is coming next weekend. So it's like, woohoo!
Yep, you're ramping up
Everybody's
for
company.
craziness, and I'm slowing down finally. So
Yeah.
we'll get some things done. I'd like to welcome Holly, Kathleen, Terry, and Vicky and Sybil. Good morning. I'm glad you guys are here.
Hi, guys.
Today we're
Hi,
talking
Janice.
about mark making. So you guys can play along with us if you'd like to. Hello, Janice. Janice is from Charlotte, North Carolina,
All
she
right.
says. So welcome, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody about Charlotte just today or yesterday because they were talking about, um, I think IKEA or something that was in Charlotte. They're not everywhere.
Yeah, the closest one to me is up in Phoenix, which is a couple hours.
Yeah.
Hello, Malia.
Hi. Hi.
There's some new people that I
Say
haven't
hi.
been
Hi,
seeing.
Maria. Maria. I don't know if I said
Marie.
hi to you, Marie, Holly, yeah, Kathleen. I was trying to get through the list here. We got a nice list going here this morning. So, hello, everybody.
Yes, hello, everybody. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. Um, we were setting things up here differently, and the kids were helping me clean garages and all that kind of stuff. So, Malia's
She
going to
says she,
Charlotte next week. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully you'll find some fun things in Charlotte. Hi, Barb.
people are just rolling in. Look at all these
Yeah,
people. Paula is from Rhode
Paula's
Island.
here.
I didn't
Paula's
know
in the house. Hi.
that. Hi.
This is cool. So, yeah, we're talking about mark making. What I'm doing right now, I went to I went to Wally World this morning because I was looking for those coasters to go under the feet of furniture. And yeah, it just happened into the craft foam area. So I picked up a big package of craft foam. This is just the peel and stick kind. And you can cut this into any shape you want. And I think you guys have seen me use craft foam before when I was making stamps and things. Because you can just, cut it in any shape that you want. Right now I'm working on some stars and I'm just sticking them down on, this was kind of thin craft foam. So I put 3 of them together to make it a little bit thicker so that I've got a surface. Some of it comes thicker and some of it comes thinner. And when you're in the store and you're looking at the stuff, I like the thick to put behind. Like if you're looking at a stamp like this, I like the thick stuff to put behind, and then the thinner stuff on top. Well, they didn't have any of the thick, so I just layer up. Use what you have. Use what you can get your hands on. But I like to make my own marks with my own stamps that I make this way. So that's what I'm doing right now. What are you doing, Shell?
Well, I was just going to talk about what mark making is,
Okay.
and how it affects your art and your painting. Uh, the first marks you ever made were probably made with these. You can still use them in your art. These things are great for doing resist effects. That's why they're still on my desk. But you probably started making marks with crayons when you were a child. And whenever you touch a pencil or a paintbrush or a crayon to a piece of art, that's a mark.
Yep.
If it's just a single mark, it's a dot. If it's a scratch, then it's a line. If it's a series of marks, it's a picture or a figure. If you can make patterns, and so much of art is affected by this process. And the most interesting thing that I find about mark making in art is that it defines the artist's style. So you can make marks in a way that eventually will develop into a style. And if you don't believe me, you can look at things like Picasso, who has the dashed swirls in all of his paintings, or Pollock, who uses splashing techniques to define his style. And that all comes from our hands and our brain, and how our hand and brain combination work.
Absolutely.
So you can take anything, even something like this, which is obviously just some blue paint stenciled on a piece of paper, and you can turn it into something that's uniquely you by mark making. And that's what I'm going to do today. Is I'm just going to work on this piece of I was doing some gel printing, and I made too much paint on there, so I needed to pick up some, and that's all this is just a pickup of some paint off of a gel plate through a stencil. So
yeah,
that's what I'm going to work on. And I've got all different types of tools here, and I'll get out more tools, every type of thing that you could possibly apply ink or paint to a substrate is a mark making tool. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a straw, whether it's a skewer or a pipette or a pencil or a crayon or a brush. Different types of brushes make different types of marks. I got some different ones here. I prefer flat or angled brushes most of the time. Round brushes make a different mark. Angled brushes make a different mark. So, yeah. And I got different stuff. I got all kinds of stuff here. I know Peg's got all kinds of stuff over there. So let's see what she's doing.
Well, I'm just pulling some more stuff out, and I want to go back to what you were saying though, Shell, about defining your style. So many times we hear, as being YouTube artists, I could never do that. Mine doesn't look like yours. Well, it's not supposed to look like mine. It's supposed to look like yours because it's your hand. It's how you are applying the ink or the paint or whatever. And that's what's important. If I make my mark on a piece of paper, this is my mark. Your mark isn't going to look the same as my mark. And I don't strive to have my mark look like everybody else's. I have it to look like my mark. So, just remember that if what you're looking for is your own unique style, you can develop it just by creating marks. So what am I doing? Well, I have some watercolor paper out here. We've got, if you didn't know, we have Artist Trading Card a Day 2019 coming up next month. And yeah, I need to create some backgrounds and things to be using on that. So I think I'm going to, play around with that. I had some spray paints out this morning. Do you guys use spray paints at all? I think it's great for quick backgrounds to use the sprays. It's a little bit messy, but let me show you what I do. I get a box and I'll grab a box like this and my spray paints, right? And you're going to shake them up, and you can use them with stencils. You can use them just on the paper like this, but I put them down in my box and spray on top. And then I can just throw this aside and let it dry. I don't have to heat set this because I just keep moving as I'm creating these layers with my mark making. So that's where I started this morning, is I just had some things like this. Now, I'm going to continue to work with these papers that I have out here. And I also picked up, while I was out this morning, something that I thought was pretty cool. You know, you're in Walmart, right? And I love these sponge rollers. So I'm going to use the sponge roller, and look what it comes with. It comes with a tray, and look at the tray. It's got a grid. Guess who's going to use the grid? And how I'm going to use the grid. This is made for cleaning off, but yeah, it's got multi-purpose, right? So, what are you doing, Shell?
I just started messing with this stuff, starting with just some gelato,
Yeah.
and I'm just using my fingers and some gelato stuff to start making this more interesting. Just scratching on the gelato and then moving it with my finger.
Cool.
I got out some different types of coloring stuff because that's one way that you can really change the way something looks, is by adding other colors to it.
Yep.
And then manipulating it with your fingers. So I figured I'd start with that, and then I would do some more definite marks over that,
Yeah.
because you got to start somewhere. You got to start with the background and to something to work on.
You sure do. You sure do. And you know, one of my favorite mark making tools is a stencil. So you know, stencils, rubber stamps, all of that, they make marks. And whether you're making your own or purchasing them, they all work in conjunction with what we're putting down here today.
Yeah, stencils are great mark making tools. But the thing about a stencil, though, is that maybe you do want to change it up a little bit. Maybe you want to add something to it because you want it to be uniquely yours. And that's why I started out with a stencil design. Because when this is finished, it isn't going to look like a stencil design anymore.
Right.
And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, I guess, is where I was going when I was thinking this morning, trying to think about what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you guys have seen us carve our own stamps. You know, you can carve your own stamps. These are all some of my hand carved stamps that are fun to use, and I'll probably use some of these in those ATCs that we've got coming up. But they're just a lot of things that you can use to make marks. Here's another one of my foam handmade stamps. Here's one that started out as a foam stamp like this, but then I altered it by using a hot tool to create something different. So yeah, so one of the things that I like is to use paints in my backgrounds. And yeah, I not just went to Walmart, I went to Target, and I was in their clearance section, and they had these cool satin acrylics in these pretty colors. So guess who had to buy some? And I also picked up some of these cheap, these are great utility brushes, like if you just want to swatch a little bit of something onto a background. You know, here I've got this blue, and if I want to take, this is a shimmer paint. It says multi-surface. Let's see what this one looks like, because it's called Rose, and I think it's a pretty color. So I need to use some pretty colors, right? I'm ready for spring and summer. You guys ready for that?
Oh, it's hot here.
So we got
more in the pool.
Got more people joining in. I want to say hello. Yeah, you're always hotter than we are. We're just getting to the point where my lilacs are blooming. So my bleeding heart and lilacs are blooming. My what do they call those? Those blue columbine will be coming out next. So I'm just happy that things are turning green and it's starting to look like spring. We actually hit 70 this week. Woohoo! I like
We
it.
actually hit 90 this week.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's a little warmer than I'd like.
Oh, it's nice. It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
I tell you what, my tomato plants are just going crazy in the raised bed.
See, now
They're
I
going
just put
nuts.
mine out this week because it was way too early for ours. They would have been frostbit. Just saying.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Would have been frostbit. So I've got this. This is just a real scruffy brush, right? These are utility brushes. What did I do with that extra piece of paper I had? Oh, it's under my basket. That's why I can't find it. Oops. This is how I lose things on my desk, guys. Just saying. But I'm just going to dry brush. This is a mark making. I'm dry brushing. And before it all dries, you can take that and flip it over on something else and just use it as a rubbing to make more marks. Okay, that was pretty dry. Didn't get a whole lot on there, but you can see that there are some marks coming from that. Okay, and this one is almost dry now just because I did that, because I came in here and did a rubbing. And so this is pretty much dry. So let me I've got a little more paint out here, so I want to use some of that. So just do a little more dry brushing. And then, of course, you have extra papers around, right? These are just some printer paper. And I'm going to clean up some of that paint with that. Clean my brush out as best I can because, you don't always have to stick it in water. Not until you're done doing what you're doing. So this little guy, I think I want some brighter color. So I'm going to grab a yellow. This is a Hansa yellow. And let's get a little bit of that out and get our sponge roller. Our, what do they call this thing? Sponge roller, I guess, from Walmart that I picked up this morning, right? And let's make a few more marks, right? I can roll it onto my handmade stamp. Like so. And I can stamp that down on one of my surfaces. So I'm just making layers. You guys have seen us make layers. Which paint, Vicki? The paint from, okay, I've got a couple out here. I've got, this one is stuff that was in the clearance aisle at Target. Okay. I also sprayed the background with some Liquitex Professional because I've got it and I need to use it. I also have Deco Art Media Paint, which is the Hansa Yellow from Deco Art. So it's kind of like a fluid. Rennie, getting my hair cut 9:30 and adding some lovely colors. Oh, purple, yeah. Teal, yeah. I like that. I would go with you if I could. Terry says she's never ready for summer.
Ooh, I'm always ready for summer. I'm a warm weather kind of girl, which is a good thing I live in Arizona.
Yeah. You guys see that yellow showing up on there? Isn't that pretty? Pretty pretty. Yeah, it depends on the time of day in the summer. I don't want to be out in the direct sunlight. Okay, talking about my week, right? Yesterday, I had to take my husband down to the VA for some tests. So we're in the car and I'm smelling gasoline. We get out of the car, go in, do our testing, come back out, and I still smell gasoline. So I get home, pull up in the driveway, and I'm getting stuff out of the car, and I see this puddle on the ground. Yeah, you guessed it, my gas line was leaking. So I call a place right away, get my car in. So yesterday afternoon, I spent in the shop getting my gas line replaced. Woohoo. Not the way I meant to spend the day, but you know. So now I'm just cleaning off, you know, just cleaning up just like I did before. Got stuff on here. Need to use up what we have out. So between all the company and the running back and forth and the oddball stuff, you know, mowing grass, going to the car shop. My week has been crazy, cray cray. And I know everybody else is too, you know, because it's spring and so much is going on.
Definitely. I've been cooking and cooking and cooking because, you know, if it's just a family here, you can cook and then maybe you cook a couple times and then you have leftovers, plenty of leftovers.
Yeah.
When you have extra people at the house, you feel like you got to just keep cooking.
Yeah, you
You got to
do.
be a good host. You got to provide food for all these people. And I've been cooking so much food and now there's so much leftovers. So for the next few days, now that the company's leaving, we're going to be having leftover everything I cooked.
That's okay. You know, I'm so bad. We stopped at a Mexican place the other day, and honestly, you know, they give you so much food. And so I had all this stuff left over. So I had tortilla chips and I had rice and I had beans and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, all I need is chicken broth. So I threw it all in the pan, chopped it up, and put the chicken broth on. We made soup out of it.
Yep. I've done that.
It worked.
Yeah, every time you go to a restaurant, I mean, I bring at least half of everything they served me back. They serve you so much food.
Yeah, they really do.
It's crazy amounts.
They really do. So a lot of the other mark making things that I like are things like lids and jars and things like that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I save a lot of these types of things. Here's a little container that's got a nice surface on the bottom. And so, you know, I'll take things like this lid and dip it in paint and just apply paint to the surface. Let's get another color out here.
I have a whole bunch of those out to use too. Things to make marks with that are just junk.
Yeah, right. So it's a lot of fun to just, you know, I'm going to roll it out a little bit. And as long as I've got that on my roller, might as well roll it onto something, right? So I've got these stars here. which I
I should
made
look at the chat, see if anyone's come in.
this morning.
Randy, Barbara, Holly.
So I'll just put that down into the background. And you see how it's combining with the other colors that are on there. I'm good with that. I have no problem with that. And then I've got a little bit still left out here. So I can take this with my lid. And I don't know if you guys can see the circle that this created on here. Well, let's just continue that thought, right? Because I've already got a design started. So I might as well use the design that's there.
If there's a circle, I'm all over it.
Yep.
I love
Circles,
circles.
triangles, squares. I like graphic stuff. I really like graphic stuff.
Well, I've got out these Stabilo Woodies.
Ooh.
And I'm having fun with them. They're like a fat, well, you know Stabilo all pencils. I mean, you see us using those all the time. Haha, all pencils using them all the time. But these are the same type of a highly water reactive ink in them, but they're fat. They're big fat guys. And they're fun. They loosen you up a little bit because they're harder to control. And so they make it more, they make your marks a little bit more truly you because you can't control your hand. So your brain is controlling your hand. If you know what I mean.
Right.
Am I making sense?
I know what you mean.
It's like just a little bit more wackier. I don't know. Come in a lot of different colors in this set here. I bought the set. Comes with a, it came with some type of a brush, I guess, and it comes with this fat sharpener to make fat sharpens. Yeah, pretty fun. Haven't had them out in a while. You can see that because they're hardly even used. But they are highly water reactive, so you can go back in after you've written with them and then bring the color back in with a water brush or something. Pretty fun.
Yeah, you know, I enjoy just making marks. This is the kind of thing that you can do mindlessly. You don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. You know, this is where we make components for collage or something that we're going to do later. And, you know, like I said, a good place to use some of this is in that artist trading card.
Yes, she's really reminding you in case you've forgotten.
Yeah, I don't want you to forget because I really want to see everybody participating.
Yes. You all should be making artist trading cards and posting them in Art Joy Sharing or on any social media using the hashtag. What's the hashtag?
Let me get that out again. It is ATCAD, Artist Trading Card a Day 2019.
That's it. And we figured out when we were going to make the graphics that this is the 3rd year of it. So
yeah, can you?
I was thinking it was only the 2nd year. So I was pretty excited when I heard it was the 3rd year.
Yeah.
So see how this thing that I'm making doesn't look at all like what it started out with? Sure, it was a stencil design, just in one color, but it's starting to really change and become a lot more fun. I'll put my woodies away, though.
See now, and you guys out there that are doodlers, oh my gosh, you know, you are the masters of mark making.
Yes.
Just saying. I am in awe of the doodlers in this group.
Rennie says, let's highlight that circle with a Posca pen, shall we?
Yeah.
A woman is speaking to my heart. Posca,
I
Posca.
think she may have heard us before. What do you think? Yeah. You know, and I'm not making perfect lines because I'm using a brush and I'm just brushing stuff on here. I don't really want a perfect line. I just want some marks. I just want some marks, you know.
So if you're going to make marks with acrylic paint, which I like to do a lot, whether it's with the paintbrush or whether it's with some other type of a tool, which I have many ridiculous amounts of stuff. So I like to make a, what would you call it, an ink pad for my mark making using my 6-inch gel print plate. I really enjoy that. So I like to just put a little bit on my plate and then spread it out, either using one of my favorite mark making tools, a old card, which makes great marks on its own, like these.
Oh, yeah.
It makes fun straight line type marks. But it also can help spread out the paint. And then you can use other tools, like this one's a favorite. This is probably my favorite round mark making tool. Is like I think it had rolled up paper on it at some point. I mean, this thing has been around a long, long time, but it sure is fun to make marks with it. I don't know why this one is my favorite. It just is. I have others.
Yeah.
This one used to protect a fancy watercolor brush. You know, it came with a, you know what I'm talking about. Like it was like a protector thing.
Sure, sleeve.
Yeah. It makes fun marks. Other things like this used to have buttons in it. It makes fun marks. A little pie plate makes fun marks. This one was inside of something. I'm not sure what at this point. Maybe my coffee machine. It makes starbursts.
Yeah, think about what you can take apart, you know.
Yeah.
I like to do that. I've taken, you know, old computers and all kinds of things apart to use in my art.
Yeah.
And you know, it's simple things like I don't want to cotton swabs. I didn't want to call them Q-tips. Cotton swabs, you know.
Oh, they make great marks. Cotton
Yeah.
swabs.
Bubble wrap. Everybody knows bubble wrap, right?
These are all just my round ones. I have lots of others. This is just my round bin. This one's the inside of a Scotch tape. It makes a double circle, which is kind of fun. I have a spool I just dropped on the ground. Spools make interesting ones. Lids, all types of lids. Yeah. I think I'm probably done with my circle ones, maybe. But anyway, let's go back to what Peg's doing.
Oh, I'm just playing with my paints here. I got out some, what is this color? This is Pyrrole Orange. Because we need some bright colors, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just putting that down. I've got here's a ring of foam, right? Nothing fancy. Just gonna make another mark using that paint in my ring, and I didn't get that on real good, so I'll just go back and do it again. But these backgrounds are going to be quite busy, and you're going to say, "Oh, that's really busy, really, really busy." That's kind of my intent, because what I do is I'll take something like this and then I'll collage. So you can make something really, really busy and then add other elements.
And then when you're done with your paint on the gel print, the gel plate, you just pick it up and look at that mark right there. Super cool. This one's this one super cool. I can tear that out and use it. So I need some more colors. Need some more colors. Definitely.
More colors, more colors. So I'm just
How about a
cleaning off,
vibrant green? Crazy green. That would be fun.
cleaning off my brayer here. Because I got a lot of stuff on there now.
Brayer, also a mark making tool.
Yep.
What do I want to play with? Good questions. I think just a sponge. How about a sponge? That's a good mark making tool.
Yeah, highlight that circle with a Posca pen. You got it. Need, want, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that need, want thing, and that's why a lot of the things that we're showing you here are really inexpensive, low cost things that you can just pull out of your cupboard or stash or make yourself. Okay, so I need to clean up a spot.
Clean.
Well, my craft mat has gotten kind of
Goopy.
goopy, yeah. So I'm just going to take the back of my paper here and, clean some of that. Marks, right?
More marks.
It makes marks. And, these are grungy marks because the colors have mingled. And I'm okay with that. And now that my brush is kind of dry, I'm going to actually wet that paint with that brush. And then I'm going to go back again with that paper and pick up that stuff that's down there. Make some marks.
That's some more mono printing.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to have a gel plate to mono print. This is just getting the color onto some papers. Yeah, I've got some of that color in my brush. So, just put it on the paper. Oh, we got a few more people joining us.
Welcome. Connie and Michael in.
Yeah, and Azure's here. I didn't see her before. I'm just kind of scrolling through to see who's joined. Hi. So now that I'm at this stage, what did I do with the baby wipes? When all else fails, just grab your rag because we can throw them in the wash. Okay. So what do I want to do now? I think since I've gotten a number of things started, let's start layering up on this really busy piece that I've got going on. Or maybe I should, let's go to this one. This one's not quite as busy. Let's go to this one. And I don't know, I can't make up my mind about what colors I want to use today.
All of them.
All of them.
Yep.
All of the colors. Well, I'm
That's
liking,
what I do.
this is a mark making piece that I did on some, I think, rice paper the other day. And, you know, I ran it through the Xyron. So it's easily peelable. And I can stick, because it's kind of translucent, I can use pieces of that to collage with. So I may want a section of this to collage with on one of these. And I'm thinking it would look good on this. It would look good on this. So I probably need to cut some pieces up. So I'm just going to grab a tool here and cut some of this. Into collage size pieces for me.
Oh, this is fun. See what other weird stuff I've got. I got sequin waste. Sequin waste is fun to make marks with.
Oh yeah.
Bubble wrap is awesome to make marks with.
Yep.
You see that? Oh, where's my white? White. I like to do it with white. Let's see if I can find some that's already been, you know, when you get some of this stuff, you just think, oh, I'm going to keep that. And then you end up with like huge piles of bubble wrap everywhere. Which seems to be what's going on right now.
Yeah, I kind of keep what I wrap things and ship with separate from the stuff because I can go crazy with bubble wrap.
Yep, it's fun. Fun stuff.
So I'm just cutting some of this paper down into something a little more manageable. And you know me and my stamps. I love my stamps. So I'm just going to get some of those textural things out. This is I think it's like a hot plate thing that you get from the, I don't know, dollar store or someplace like that. But
Oh,
now,
yeah, I have some of those too.
yeah, now I'm going to go to some of these other colors, I think. What do I want to use here? I think I'd like to get some bright blue. Let's see if this shows up on this other blue. Oh yeah. So that's kind, I already had kind of a stencil image in the background, and now I'm just putting this. It's a repeat of pattern, because you've got your rectangular shape, square shape, and I think that helps when you're building sometimes to have some repeats. And like I said, it's going to be busy.
Oh, this thing is super busy. It's probably too busy, but I'm having fun anyways.
I was going to print some paper off, but I don't think I can. If you guys have some things that you've done like this, sometimes you can scan them and keep a copy of them and print them off. And that's good to use in your collage too. Mine is not talking to me today, so I think I'll just maybe not do that.
How about styrofoam? Styrofoam is a fun thing to cut and make into your own stamps. This is some type of a pressed fun foam. I have all this stuff. This was a stamp I made out of gluing twine to a piece of cardboard to make a mark making tool. There's so many. You can score styrofoam plates. You can glue them together. Any type of stuff that's texture. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look at all this fun stuff. All for mark making. This is plastic canvas. Makes great marks. This is run through
some corrugated cardboard.
Yeah, corrugated cardboard is great. Just anything.
The ridges. If you just take a piece of your cardboard box and pull the top layer off so that you get the ridges. So you got the layers in between. These make great marks. And how many of us have those Amazon deliveries and all those boxes?
Thousands of boxes.
Yeah.
Boxes everywhere. I think my piece is like ridiculously busy.
Yeah, but it'll make great ATCs, right?
Yeah, I'll have to collage it onto something else. I don't know. I still haven't even started with pens. I could do so much more.
Right, right.
Pens or pencils or something. But I think it's had it. I think I need to start a different one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start gluing some pieces down with just a glue stick.
I did get out a journal, so I guess I could work on a journal page. I don't know. I might do some Posca pens just because I can. I mean, it just doesn't seem right if I don't add some Posca to it, right?
Right.
I mean, really. I think it's fairly dry, so.
Okay. So, are you guys getting out and enjoying the weather? Do you have vacation plans? What's going on in your lives? Tell me, do. I would be interested to know. So these are just the papers that I'd been creating, and you know, you can cut them into all kinds of shapes. I think I'll get a little bit bigger piece here. So you can see I'm just making collage stuff. So I've got the pink and the blue going here. I need some more. I think I need some more papers in different. I've got this one that I started the other day. And I like the black and white and brown on it. I know, neutrals, right? Ha ha.
That was last week.
Yeah. But I like neutrals.
Yes, you do. Me, not so much.
I think we've established that. Too funny. But I think when you're doing something like this, it's nice to mix some of these neutrals in. And you can see you've got to repeat here because here's another one of those blocks. Here's the block. Here's the block. So, yeah, it works with this.
Neutrals are awesome to go along with. They just make your colors brighter.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely should do that.
Yeah.
I should probably make this into something, shouldn't I? Stop playing. Put the stuff away. Stop playing.
Why should you stop playing?
Because it's just like getting ridiculous. It's getting completely ridiculous.
Oh, you're so funny. I like the play part.
Like I could just sit here for hours and just doodle the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
But it's very busy now. It doesn't look anything like what it started like. So that was the point, I think. So let's make it into something. I have an art journal.
No. What the heck? Cindy, that's awful.
No. No way.
That's what she said.
That's terrible. Make it go away.
Yeah. Barb says knowing when to stop. Yeah, that's all part of the process too, isn't it? The good thing is if you go too far, you can always take it back.
That's true. I think I'll put this in my art journal. It's not quite dry yet. I might have to dry it.
Holly says it was in the 90s 2 days ago. Well, I feel sorry for you, Cindy. I hope that all ends soon because, you know, this has just been one long winter. And honestly, up there, you guys have been getting hammered. I'm just saying. Something about the Northeast, you guys just really get hammered. I should also look at also look at some of my washi tapes. Remember those washi tapes that we made?
Yeah, where are those?
Yeah, I wonder where where I put
I
those.
don't know where mine are.
Where did I put those?
I remember making them.
Yeah. I remember making them too. You know, they're probably in my travel bag. I bet I put them in my travel bag. Janice says gesso is your friend. You betcha, Janice. And paint and anything else that you can cover something up with. That's, you know, one of my problems with watercolor is, you know, trying to pull it back when you've made something really bad and you're trying to scrub it out. So, oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't treat watercolor like you treat acrylic.
Yeah.
I think I'm mostly an acrylic person.
This cracks me up. I'm sitting here trying to peel this paper. This one doesn't have adhesive on the back. Reason there's a reason I have a glue stick out, right? Jeez. What an idiot. Watch Peg try to peel paper.
All right, I've got some matte medium and some paper. So let's see about that.
Why not?
Why not? Let's put it down. I cut it into 3.5 because I figured 3.5 by 2.5 is ATC. So
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and then I just tore one of the pieces in half at diagonals, and now I'm gonna glue it in my art journal with some matte medium. Trying to get it glue it straight, maybe.
Need some more neutral on here. Bring on the neutral.
This art journal only has like something like 8 more pages in it to be until it's done. I just noticed the other day. So I'm gonna try to work in it.
Cool.
Get the darn thing done with. I've had it for a long time.
Yeah, I've got some like that where I just need to finish out the pages in them, but I get distracted and do other things.
Yeah. And new art journals and
They're a lot more fun because it's like,
getting new ones.
oh, look at the surface of this.
Yeah. This is one of those was it Diane Reevely or Dina Wakely? Can't think of which one it is. I get those two mixed up. The D ladies.
Well, okay. I'll tell you, Dina Wakely uses that watercolor paper that everybody loves to hate and a bunch of other surfaces. All right, like cloth, that kind of stuff. That's Dina. Just think of Dina as really mixed media. Think of Diane as the spray lady. She doesn't prep her surface. She goes down with spray first. So
I'm not sure who came out with this journal. I can't remember. But
well,
everyone was
that
so
one,
excited. Everyone was like so excited about these journals, and then I got it, and I was like, yeah, I don't really like the paper. It's like it's a smooth paper. I don't know.
yeah, that one actually is a Reevely. And I like it because I like ink.
Yeah.
it's really, the paper in there is really for ink. It's not for gesso. It's not for paint. Now you can use paint, but what she does is she really
Well, she
thins
puts the
down.
paint on with in a really thin layer. She's the one that
She really
has,
thins it.
yeah. Like she'll put it on with the baby wipe and stuff. In fact, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Let's get some paint. Have some of her paint.
Yeah, that's a good way to make marks.
Yeah.
With a baby wipe.
Have a baby wipe right here. She likes to put her paint on like this. So it doesn't interfere with life because it's just such a thin blended layer. Watched her do it a million times.
Yeah. But you know, everybody has their technique, and that's the thing about those people that everybody knows, like Dina and
The
Diane.
D ladies.
Yeah, the D ladies. They have their own technique.
Yep. And it's a marketable one.
Yeah. Where do I want to put this? I made kind of a mess. This will go right there. My paper's tearing where I don't want it to. Woo.
Stop.
Barb is asking a question about how come your colors aren't reactivating.
Oh, I put a matte medium over them when I put them down. And I use a gel formula, so it's not like a heavy application. And I go under and over the top to get them all settled in there. I don't have any like really light colors in these paints. She did come out with a whole bunch of pastels, but I don't have them. I only have the bright colors, which I like.
So, all right, time to poll the audience. What is your favorite mark making tool?
Yes, tell us. There we go. That'll work.
You're having to think about this one.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Oh. Well, that was interesting. At least I covered up all that white. Cindy says anything that makes circles. Barbara says Posca and Stabilo all the colors. Sybil says bottle caps because they're easy to come by.
Cool.
I don't think I have any bottle caps. That would be fun one because it'd have those little jaggedy things on the edge. Ugh, my hands are covered with goop. galore.
Yep.
Caps that come on new paintbrushes. Sybil Azure said that. Nancy says that she dots everything with white Posca pins. Yeah, everybody knows Posca pins are my favorite.
Eh,
I'm
They're
a
pretty
Posca
awesome.
pin fanatic.
They're pretty awesome.
All right, let's see what else we have on the desk that we can play with.
Okay. Oops. Be nice if I could cut straight too. I need to go to straight cut school.
Is there a straight cut school?
Probably is. And I missed that class.
Yeah, me too.
I really missed that class.
Well, I like to tear everything anyway, so
I just thought because I had the squares on here and the rectangles on here that I should have straighter edges. You know, it's the theme. It's where I was headed with this whole thing. I really had a direction, you know. Sometimes I do. And then other times I don't. Other times it's just about the play, and then I pick it up the next day and look at it and say, "Oh, I should do that with that."
I go with play. I'm pretty obsessed with play. I like to glue stuff to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan. That's what I'm doing right now.
So what? Yeah, I'm doing that too. I'm just gluing stuff down because what I want is a little bit of all of these designs, because you know your ATC is 2.5 by 3.5. So when I cut this up, I want a little bit of each of that in the pieces that I create. So that's why I'm, you know, layering and layering and layering. And then I'm still going to come back on top of this with more mark making.
So this is just a little plastic bucket that sits on my desk. And when I'm using stuff, I just throw stuff in it. And it has little pieces of all the things I've made recently. And I'm just going to use some of those to make more of an abstract collage in here. And I've got out pieces that match the colors. Just little pieces, and I'm just going to glue them down. And then we'll see where it goes from that. That's what I like to do.
Okay.
This was that leftover gel stuff that I pulled up. It seems like an anchoring piece. It just made a cool pattern, a cool mark.
So I think I have enough of the paper layers on here now. I need to start with more mark making. I think I want to trim this edge and straighten it up a little bit. Because when I tore it out, it really had a jagged edge. So I'll make it neat. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to come back with some of those colors.
Remember that pesky octagon that I didn't cut straight?
Yeah.
There it is. Whoop, there it is. It's come back to haunt me.
I'm going to grab some paint markers. Because I think I want to add some marks with paint markers.
Good plan.
These are those big, oh. And I like this blue, but I don't think I'm going to go directly with the marker on there with the blue. I think I'm going to put it out on my craft mat. Because I want to make marks using my tools with that blue. Kind of unify some of these pieces here.
Azure says that she likes any random thing she can find for mark making, like the netting from vegetables,
Oh,
the
yeah.
plastic cards and junk mail. She finds herself looking at nuts and bolts and in the silverware drawer for caps from juice bottles or packaging from a flat surface to make a stencil.
Yep.
Oh,
All
good
good
idea.
suggestions. Yep.
Yes. What do I feel like doing next? I don't know. I think maybe I'm going to take some of this paint that's still left on my 6x6 and I'm going to pull it off and put it onto this page by putting a little bit more paint on. And just using the paint to pick it up. So I feel like my edges need something. Of course, I can also do it with just my brayer. But I thought maybe it might be kind of fun just to go just touch touch. Does that make some mark also? It doesn't seem to be pulling up any of the pattern though. But it's a good way to just kind of fill in a little bit and unify a little bit. I think I'll pull the rest of it up onto something. I pulled up a little bit of pattern, but not much.
So you are stumped and not knowing where to go with your mark making. You know, we do the pick a stick challenge. And if you haven't done that, sometimes that frees you up because it's giving you prompts and it's telling you, you know, what the next step is going to be. And
While still being completely free.
yeah, while still being
You know,
completely free. So I
because
mean,
it's a one-word prompt. It's not like it says, get out your da-da-da and do this with it. It gives you just a jumping off point. That's what I like about the Pick a Stick Challenge. I don't like to be told what to do. I'm really very bad at being told what to do. Like, I just don't do well with that, okay? Like people, I don't like people telling me what to do, but if I can get a prompt and it can give me a suggestion of something that might be interesting to do, that's a different thing.
yeah. So
Oh,
I'm just going to take a stamp now. This has some lettering on it and kind of like the design. So I'm going to put some of that into the background here.
Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I've got a plan. I've got a plan.
She has a plan, folks.
I am gonna get out some of these doohickey bobbers. Deep down in the bottom of my heart. No, not my heart. My bin. Yes. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what this page needs. Absolutely.
The doohickey bobbers.
Yes, it needs doohickey bobbers.
Okay.
Absolutely does. Trust me on this. Yep. I got some paint and I got some palette knives. That's what this needed.
Azure says nothing is safe.
Nothing is safe.
Yeah, nothing is safe. I'm telling you.
If it has an interesting pattern on it, it's gonna get used.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that white go? I need that white. Oh, here.
Liking this. Wonder what this looks like if I drag it.
I want to get white in my. Where's my? Ugh, things are getting crazy around here. Get some white on there. I want some blendy, but I don't want to go crazy with the blendy.
Oh yeah. I like that hot pink there.
Hot pink. That's what I got too.
Okay, we must be connecting here this morning. We're getting there.
Yes. We must be.
All right, and then let's see. What do I want? Do I want white? White is awfully stark white. I'm thinking, let's see what this looks like. Oh, I can get the lid off. Sometimes my hands just don't want to work.
This is fun, 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 fun.
I might be getting down towards the bottom of this black. Might be time for a replacement.
That's a good thing. I never seem to use up all my stuff. It goes bad before I get to the bottom. So much fun. Oh my gosh. I think I need yellow.
Lello.
Lello. Where's the yellow? This one, maybe this one. This one's more of like an orangey yellow, but I think it's what I want.
She knows what she wants, folks. She knows what she wants. Okay. So I'm thinking time for the pens, which means I have to dry.
Are we getting oh my gosh, look at what time it is.
I know, right?
How did we get to that already?
Because we're having fun.
This page is not going to be done. I'll tell you that. She's drying.
I am, because that paint is very, very wet. Very, very wet. It will kill a pen in a moment.
Yes, I hear you. Pen killing paint. I have some on my page right now because I'm playing with palette knives. You know how long that's going to take to dry.
Yeah, but I'm
27 years.
very happy with this piece. Now, you know, like I said, these are going to be cut into ATC size. So even though this is very busy, it's going to be a lot of fun, because I wanted to have some of all of that in each one of those ATCs.
It's like a masterboard.
Yeah, it is like a masterboard. Making my marks on masterboards. All right, let's see if I kill a pen today.
Don't do it.
I'm going to get one of these jelly roll. We'll see. See what happens. Yeah, that's still wet. It's not wanting to roll. And that's, you know, when you use paint like this, a lot of times what I like to do is let the paint dry overnight and then come back with the pen. We don't always have that kind of time when we're doing a live show, but
No, I don't have any time. What are you talking about?
just saying that would be the smart thing to do.
That would be the smart thing to do.
But you know, when I'm let me get in here close. What I wanted to do was to where I've put the black down here. It feels dry, but I wanted to, maybe it's just this pen. Let me try a different white pen. Let me get a Posca. That might be better.
Oscar.
Make sure we get some, there we go. Okay, so all I wanted to do was to come in, outline these rectangles. Do a little bit of doodle work on here. Yep, Posca. Gotta love them.
I know I
They
do.
write over all kinds of things.
You do. They don't ever give me grief. Well, a little bit, but not too bad.
They don't do real well on textural things. Like I've tried them on some textural stuff, and then they skip, and then they splatter the paint.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you got relatively smooth surface when you're doing this, right? It's all relative. So who all is going to try and do the artist trading card a day next month? I want to be looking for your work.
Me.
Me?
Well, this is pretty darn fun. I am going to have to let this dry substantially before I can do any more doodling, mark making. But it's darn fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do need a little more white. A little more white. What can I say?
White's always good. I like it.
Ooh. Okay, that nib is not cooperating.
Sometimes they don't.
So I'm going to get rough with it. See there? I just pulled that sucker right out. Oh, well, maybe it's actually dry, I suppose.
That's a possibility.
That might be why it's not working. I guess it is time for a new pen. Good grief. Oh, but look at there. I have a new mark making tool because it had a lid.
Huh, there you go.
So, all right. I guess I'll just use something else for my white.
So I am going to doodle over this at some point when it gets dry. But, well, I don't know. I have another one. This tool is fun. Ball stylus. You want to make dots. Ball stylus is where it's at.
Yep.
They come in all different sizes. So when this page is finished, I'll put it up, pictures, of course. Same with, you'll be seeing Peg's creation coming out in ATCs in the next month.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I think pretty much done for today. Cindy says she's going to try to do the ATCs. Terry says she's going to try.
Cool. Cool, cool.
They're the only two that is.
Made
Sybil
the,
might have said she was going to. I'm not sure if that's what she meant. She said me.
okay,
So Terry, Sybil, and Cindy, we're looking to look for your ATCs next month.
absolutely.
Yep.
And you know, tag us. Tag us. Let
Yes,
us know.
tag us on your social media. If you don't know who we are on different things, we both have link trees. And you
Yep.
can go look, you know, because like on Facebook, I'm Shell CEE because they won't let me just have a C. And on Instagram, I'm Paper Actio Studio because that's how I set it up. So, you know, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. And we will see you guys next week. I don't remember what the theme is, but we'll be here.
We'll be doing something. Hope you're doing
Yeah.
something too. Get out there and enjoy
Things
the
are great.
weather if it's nice where you are, and yeah, take your art outside.
Yes. Nancy, an ATC is just a small piece of work that's 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. That's all there is to it. It can be anything. And we don't have prompts for this challenge. It's just make an ATC every day. Next month.
And if you want prompts, we do have ATC prompts on Pick-a-Stick.
Yeah, we do. On Pick a Stick Challenge. That's a Facebook group you can join.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.